What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ant, GodMade32 on Instagram, and today we back with another reaction. And today we got something real special, man, from the good people over at New Rockstars. We got the official breakdown for She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and I can't wait to get into it with y'all. We're finally back, and we opened up with She-Hulk, and since I'm opening up with She-Hulk, we got to get all of the breakdowns for She-Hulk as it goes along too, man. This is a 9-episode series, and I don't know if we're gonna get a season 2, but we're gonna be here to enjoy season 1 together. But like I said, I definitely enjoyed the first episode of this series, and I can't wait to find out all of the little details that I missed going through it. To be honest with you, I was laughing way too much to notice all of the things that was going on. The main actress, Masalani, she's amazing. Like she captured me as soon as I started, and I can't wait to see how it's gonna end up, where she fits in when it's all said and done, and what the next story is gonna be for her. But this story so far, A1. I'm trying to be back on my stuff, so it's up to you guys to see if you believe what I'm dishing out this time around, because I said this before. But you gotta hold me accountable, man. So when you see me up, hit that like, smash the subscribe button, and get in those comments to let me know that y'all want to see more.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Jessica Clemons, and while Voss was busy falling in love and getting married, lucky, he asked me to help break down the She-Hulk series for you. This first episode is so
congratulations,
fun.
Vossy.
Cousins could be so close. I have a ton of cousins, but we hate each other. Every time we're together, we just fight. Let's just break down this first episode shot by shot. Take a look at all the MCU Easter eggs and details we missed. Like Voss, I promise to keep this business and professional, and I won't bark for She-Hulk. Let's get into it.
The Marvel Studios title card has now been updated with a shot of Our Lady Thor from Thor Love and Thunder, replacing what was last seen as Rocket. And then put back on the M after Thor Love and Thunder my Jordan-wearing, dragon-riding Shang-Chi from Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
We open to a close-up of Jennifer Walters giving what at first feels like her audition tape for She-Hulk, but she's actually practicing her closing argument in her office. We have a little
I really like that scene, actually.
What is the responsibility of those with power? Do they merely have an obligation to refrain from the misuse of that power? Or do they have a duty to protect those without it?
Okay, so this opening perfectly reflects what we'll see between lawyer Jennifer Walters just wanting to be an anonymous lawyer and She-Hulk, icon, superhero, public figure extraordinaire, who at times in the comics has been known to use her name and presence unjustifiably. I mean, who wouldn't? You're a Hulk. As she practices, the camera pans out and we slowly get a full view of Jen's very 30 lawyer-like office. She's a busy woman and she works hard for the money.
I work hard for the money.
The lawyer type female show is already presenting itself, and I stand for it. We see some books: Barron's Business Law, Courtroom 101, her encyclopedias, Badass Women by Rachel Walsh and Bill O'Neill.
I suspect that's a picture with her uncle. Seeing as the stylized credits, we see a courtroom illustration of her family at dinner, and that man resembles the bald-headed glasses-wearing fellow.
We have a bobblehead of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Michelle Obama, a little Ally McBeal, the graduating Barrington Wisdom class owl, along with another little owl below. Owls and lawyers have similar connections. They're intelligent, wise, efficient, they're nocturnal, plus they're just birds of prey, so they're recognized as the animals who represent a lot of law schools.
That's hilarious.
A ton of UCLA swag, along with her 2 degrees from UCLA. We're introduced to her 2 colleagues: the cheery, supportive best friend Nikki Ramos, played by the paralegal who's basically a lawyer trainee. They provide support to the lawyers. They can interview clients and witnesses and prepare documents for court. They're still very important folks. And underwhelmingly unsupportive Dennis Bukowski, played by Drew Matthews. Dennis in the comics was the assistant district attorney.
He's
for Walters,
I don't like
and they
dude.
both hated each other. He was obnoxious and super annoying. I mean, just look at him. Behind Dennis, we get a nice framed photo of the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. If you forgot this takes place in Cali, let me remind you. Behind Nikki, we get the traditional brass
good California vibes, bruh.
Law with no connection to Moon Knight. Khonshu, can you hear me? I'll be your vessel. We see Jennifer Walters, deputy district attorney, on her front door. Our girl is a prosecutor with her own office. The deputy district attorneys commonly work under the district attorney. This is also when Nikki mentions Jen was handpicked to go up against GLKH. And what we know from the trailers up until this point is 1, GLKH stands for Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, which is an homage to Martin Goodman, the founder of Atlas Comics that later became Marvel. Lieber for Stan Lee's real last name, and Kurtzberg for Jack Kirby's formal last name. And Holloway is for Holden Holloway, the attorney at GLKH that hires She-Hulk to be the face of the firm's new superhero law division. And 2, they are prosecuting GLKH. That means this is probably a test by Holden to see Jen, aka She-Hulk, really at work. During the comics, Holloway offered the job to an intoxicated She-Hulk in a bar, but he always tested her limits and expected a lot from her. He could be testing her right now with Titania. We see a second pair of...
I don't know like why Titania came in the courtroom. I don't understand the exact nature of the court case. Like she said, it was very vague, but I was just taking it as it's the first episode. I'm going to get more as it goes on. But then the whole scene just ended abruptly. Well, the court scene, the court case scene, I should say, just ended abruptly when Titania came in and we never picked it back up. But I like the threads that they're pulling on right now, and she's pulling up the comic backstory of it, and it's making me even more interested. You know what I mean? So, like, I ain't going to lie to you. Like, this show, I don't really need none of this stuff. I'm just doing this because, like, it's just interesting. But, like, the show already got me. Like, all of the comic Easter eggs is just, like, icing on the cake for me right about now. But, back to it.
Clothes, suit, jacket, and bottoms to cover... Clothes, suit, jacket, and bottoms to cover Jen in case she hulks out. Additionally, a lot of lawyers keep extra clothes at their office for all-nighters, but I'm sure Jennifer has also learned her lesson from ripping out of her clothes. This is when
Spandex is your best friend.
It's so satisfying. Not only have we seen similar scenes like this in Fleabag, I have to. That's my Fleabag too. Saved by the Bell, even Deadpool. This gag is comedy stage media gold, separating fact from fiction. It shows that they don't take themselves too seriously, but also can give us, the audience, much more information. My years of...
See, those eye flickers is hilarious to me, especially how she said it.
California 30-something into Bruce and Jen's trip driving through the woods of California.
A few months ago.
And claim money on it by Together Pangea, a band based out of Santa Clarita, California. This episode oozes California 30-something-year-old regardless, but the added music is sort of an indie Cali vibe, so a mini bonus. We find out Bruce has been able to stay in human form because he created the device called the inhibitor, though keep in mind it hasn't fully helped him heal. We saw him wearing in Shang-Chi, and head writer Jessica Gao has confirmed that this now takes place a little after Shang-Chi. We've seen variations of the inhibitor before.
After Shang-Chi, so Shang-Chi's in the blip. I know that already.
Marvel's cosmic powers. In X-Men, the inhibitor collar was in Days of Futures Past. Also in Deadpool 2, they used the collars to neutralize the mutants' powers. Inhibitor simply means to slow down or prevent a particular chemical reaction, which I believe Smart Hulk is doing to stay in Bruce form. Eating hot Cheetos with chopsticks is, I kid you not, the only way I'll eat them, and for the same exact reason. You don't want to get it on your fingers. Also, let us not forget who started this trend. Moon Knight. When Jen said, "You're not the only genius in the family," Bruce retorts,
No, there's also Chet.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, who is that?
Illustrations. This one says mom, dad, aunt, uncle, and cousin. I assume that Chet is the cousin. The uncle is wearing glasses. Mom and dad are on the right, so that leaves one of these last women as the aunt. This could be Cassandra Pike from the comics. Jen's aunt on her dad's side. She's a biologist and won a Nobel Prize for biology. She's also pretty evil in the comics. She tries to kill her brother and niece She-Hulk using her son, in this case Ched, after giving him injections to become a giant monster. So the quotes around that stem from an unhappy relationship between the two.
Like us, Jen has some theories. Truly, all her theories are whether or not Steve Rogers had sex and when. Which, don't worry, we'll get into because the mid-credit scene is a doozy. We get a glimpse of the
mid-credit scene is hilarious.
Specifically, it's a Skaarian Class A courier craft, a postman, if you will, or someone serving a subpoena to Bruce, possibly. This could be from the Grand Master. The ship in Thor Ragnarok, the Commodore, looked exactly like this. Either way, this ties to Thor Ragnarok, and I bet they're looking for their top-tier fighter after stealing the prize ship from the Grand Master. Or we could be getting into World War Hulk and Skaar, son of Hulk.
After the Illuminati sent Hulk into space away from Earth for being too reckless, he landed on Skaar,
teasing me with amazing stuff that we're probably never gonna get. But wait, hold on. We might get it in a few years.
Up a bunch of chaos and kills a ton of folks.
We might get it in a few years because, like, while I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get the Planet Hulk storyline, the full Planet Hulk storyline that we should have gotten, like Ragnarok, the one that we did get was pretty cool. But this World War Hulk stuff, like, he needs a whole movie unto himself for this World War Hulk stuff to, like, really make sense. Honestly, he need a little mini series leading up to the movie just by himself, because, like, that storyline was just amazing. Like, so many things happened. He wrecked everybody and I was with it. But I'm not trying to get myself too excited, because every time I do that, the things never happen. Keep my expectations low and I'll love all of these movies and shows. Let's get it.
It's revealed the child didn't actually die. He emerged from a cocoon. Skaar is super sick, super hardcore, but
I just don't think that major scene would be played out in She-Hulk, but you let me know what you guys think in the comments. Where in the comics,
what is these fingers off of his face?
Transfusion from Bruce that changed Jennifer to She-Hulk. This is technically another type of blood transfusion, just not as thorough. This is great to note how strong Bruce's blood is, which yes, we already knew.
He only got a couple of
drops.
drops.
Viruses die on the hint of mass oxygen. This clearly does not, and it can impair someone by a teaspoon's worth. Be it the leader whose brain started acting weird in Incredible Hulk, Hulk, or Blonsky, who with an already petri dish of other concoctions turned into abomination. Though Hulk's blood isn't the be-all, end-all superhero drug, the amount of gamma radiation in it is still lethal. So where it worked for She-Hulk, seeing as they share the rare genetic factor, it makes sense it would work on her. Shoot, it maybe works on her mom, but don't bet on any normal civilian every time. We get the sad shot of Jen, now She-Hulk, outline reflection on the green crushed door and her silhouette as she backs up and runs away.
I like that scene because you couldn't see what's going on, and it reminded me. She couldn't see herself, and it just reminded me of like the old Incredible Hulk series from like the 70s. Like I just like that whole framing of it right there, like just the horror of it. And like she was like definitely out of it too, because she was just grunting and roaring at the time. It was a good scene. I liked it. Enthralled is the word I used in my reaction. It's gonna be somewhere up in these areas. Click it.
Transformation scenes in most movies are. She awakens at Ideal Sports Bar, a very funny name for a sports bar, and also a real sports bar in Atlanta, Georgia. And Cricket's rocks on gas. In the MCU, the Roxxon Corporation has been seen in Loki during the storm. In the first Iron Man, they
bringing in Roxxon. I like it.
In Agent Carter, it's revealed that they created the atomic bomb based on the formula by Howard Stark. In She-Hulk comics, She-Hulk prosecutes them when Danger Man accidentally falls into a vat of hard atomic water on the job. Roxxon is a huge, powerful industrial company, and they usually do a lot of shady stuff in the comics. Jen sneaks past the bouncer in the hallway. There's a sign that reads Ladies Night. When you actually use the QR code, it takes you to the Marvel website that offers you the first issue of She-Hulk free to read, along with some special promotion. Additionally, in the bathroom, there's some lovely graffiti. We have the Miss Marvel.
I read that book,
which is funny, because
I got that book read to me.
2024, Miss Marvel takes place sometime in 2025. Who pre-drew this? And in California, no less. Possibly someone anticipating the arrival of Miss Marvel. Someone like Kang, who we will see in Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. That'll probably take place in California. Kang just stopped by this dive bar and on his way to Northern California and straight up graffitied the crap out of it. We see Rest in Peace Biggie from Biggie Smalls, if you don't know. Don't Stop, Get It, used in tons of songs, but I think its origins are by Luke, I Wanna Rock. I know this because 2 remixed it. Don't listen to either if you're under 18. A little Spider, not to Spider-Man. If you sprinkle and you tinkle, be a sweetie, wipe the CD. And then the infamous Sword of Anarchy symbol, infamous 420 with a peace sign and a 0. Not a single Thanos is right in sight. It's ladies' night, and what's ladies' night without a bunch of ladies helping ladies in the bathroom? I can't tell you how many ladies' nights I've been to where it becomes a drunk girls' night out in the bathroom. Those people become my best friends immediately, just like these helpful bunch, played by Monica Garcia Bradley, Tiffany Denise Hobbs, Tony Bryce, and Ariana Marie Hagen. I love these Atlantan queens, and I'm so happy they're showcasing supportive women, just women helping women. We need that. She-Hulk donned a Led Zeppelin t-shirt, and I think those are swim trunks. We can assume
that's a drawing from The Office.
Seeing as Tony loved rock and roll. The Black Sabbath t-shirt. In the first Iron Man, he's in a small truck with soldiers listening to AC/DC's Back in Black. He listens to AC/DC a lot. Plus, they're on the coast of Mexico at a beach house. You need trunks, my dude. These little glimpses and reminders will never be forgotten.
You need trunks, my dude.
As Jen walks out to this beautiful, rich beachfront estate, we see some little Tony Hulk treasures, like the Iron Legion armor droid helmet from Age of Ultron. I suspect this is the helmet Ultron is first seen wearing. It matches the degree of damage. In the movie, they also remove their mask when the machine laser beamed their eyes, so I'm thinking it's just the junk pieces from that moment. Behind her, peep the subtle helmet there. That's Hulk's helmet he wore in the ring during Thor Ragnarok. It's insane he still has it. It's also not the only piece of swag.
That's the one I seen.
Skaar, I suspect, but we'll get back into that.
I just seen the feathers. I wasn't sure it was his helmet though.
Driftwood art, maybe for the sandy beach aesthetic, is definitely their relaxed spot. Tony Stein's bunker is insane. This is where Bruce spent the 18 months fixing himself. Look at all the Stark equipment, the similar gear used to monitor Hawkeye in Age of Ultron when he was getting new tissue. In the first Iron Man, the gear behind him when he's asking Pep to take out his heart. As Voss said in the trailer breakdown, we see the X-ray.
That should still give me the.
We have different vials of Jen's green blood lying around. While she was out, he was able to get blood, X-rays, literally everything. We also see the schematics of the inhibitor behind him. This slow zoom when Jen mentions she's changed, realizing she's a Hulk, is so fun, and for the visual storytelling, enhances the emotion of the scene. And I love when movies do it, like we're creating the same chaotic realization for both the character and the audience. It's also so dramatic, unnecessarily dramatic. We find out that Jen and Bruce share a rare combination of genetic factors, so like I said earlier, what would have been a lethal dose for most was not for Jen. Jen's blood is slightly different. The way it synthesizes gamma radiation was able to fully heal Bruce's arm. When channeling a distressed emotion, Jen offers Pixar's Inside Out. The scene, spoiler, when Bing Bong dies, he dies, okay? It's dramatic. Who's your friend that likes to play? I can't listen to it. We also see the Saws, Stark Industry, and Jen's right. What psycho has this torture bunker?
We use it for interrogation purposes.
When Bruce says casually how he changes back to Bruce form is by falling out of a plane like in the first Avengers, or he gets knocked out by a robot as Tony as Hulkbuster, or Natasha would tell him a lullaby both in Age of Ultron.
Hella great callbacks.
He mentions his time on Skaar, him being stuck as Hulk for 2 years during Thor Ragnarok. All these callbacks are worth going back and watching because I just love them.
That's what I'm saying. I really liked it.
Psychotherapy that started with treating personality disorder and interpersonal conflict. In this case, definitely being a Hulk. And a reminder, Hulk participated in yoga to help him in Incredible Hulk. He mentions Jen reverts back to Jen form when she sleeps, which is also what she did in the comics in very funny ways. Like when she wakes up from having men over and has to revert back before they notice. If stress and high heart rate changes you into Hulk form, it would make sense when you're unconscious you revert back to your normal self. The song playing is Fast Motion by my girl Saweetie. She's active in this video, sprinting, playing soccer, football, cheerleading. It's all about the hype and hard work. Just like what Bruce got Jen about to be doing, effortlessly I might add. Get ready for these lady pump-up jams. Let's go through the physical skills he teaches Jen. I love their competitive nature, but also that boulder that Hulk just tossed is gonna be a meteor to some poor ship or planet. His infamous Hulk
That's
jump
a fact. I thought about that.
We've seen it done many a times in Age of Ultron when he saves Natasha or when he saves Tony mid-fall in the first Avengers movie. What I love about this scene is where a smart Hulk is taking this seriously, Jen is like, this is easy, and makes fun of him the complete time. Balance. In yoga, which Jen is now a full-fledged pro at.
This Hulk ground pound, which to me, Jen looks much better at, just saying.
Bruce says,
Jen, when you have powers like this, it's like putting a target on your back and the backs of all the people you care about.
Which is so true. I know she's upset at this point, but in the comics, this is how her best friend died. In 1980 run of She-Hulk, Jill Stevens offered to help all the time when it came to her best friend Jennifer Walters. At a neighbor's barbecue, Jen got a call to come pick up some stuff from the DA's office. Jill offered to pick it up instead. Once she left, they realized it was a trap, and unfortunately, they cut Jen's brake lines in the car, and in a horrible collision, Jill died. Jill does resemble Nikki Ramos in She-Hulk.
That's what I was just about to say.
It's her, and I don't want it to be her. But
it's
for
about to be OVA.
Hulk is making the world's largest martini, and like Steve Rogers, it takes too much to get these two drunk. And cool, you'll always be buzzed, but never drunk. I drink to get drunk, you guys. Also, this sounds so expensive. Is it even worth it? From a later shot, there's about 30 empty bottles. Yes, some are wine bottles, but regardless, if each bottle is 20 bucks, give or take, that's around $600 wasted. Okay, I'm done being irritated, but this logically just doesn't make sense, and I want them to stop. It's a waste of money.
I mean, they could just make their own alcohol. They're super smart.
Of Hulk on Skaar. They had the helmet earlier. We saw the ship. We're keeping Skaar on the back burner always. Later, we see a different angle from the bar where we see another cutout of Hulk. Smug Hulk, am I right? We see the initials BB for Bruce Banner and TS for Tony Stark carved into the bar. Bruce gets into the time he spent with Tony creating the bar, which was during the blip. And it's sad to reminisce, but I think we're getting to a spot in the MCU when thinking of Tony shouldn't make you sad, you lost him, but happy with the memories they got to make with him. A good time during a hard time, which She-Hulk is adjusting to as well. We get the Hulk thunderclap. We last saw him using this in Incredible Hulk. This move extinguished fire, turned boulders to rubble, smacks the crap out of your foes. The thunderclap shockwave destroyed, and it's fun seeing both Hulk and She-Hulk using it. Though She-Hulk
does a lot.
Thunder applause. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Jen breaks the fourth wall again, this time as She-Hulk, but this time Hulk hears her. And maybe she'll start to recognize you can't just do that anywhere. Like in Fleabag, people notice. And in Fleabag Season 2, the priest interacts with her, interacting with the camera. He acknowledges her later down the line. He can someone close to her recognizing what
this is going to be hilarious.
Jen is now carving her name into the rebuilt bar, now called Bruce's Bar. The two have settled down and enjoy their hot Cheetos with chopsticks. I think it's cute that Hulks are party size. Again, his metabolism is hefty. He's always eating small amounts. The tiny tacos in Endgame, the party-sized bag of chips. Just get this man a damn buffet. Am I allowed to
right.
We pan out of the shot from the courtroom illustrators giving their closing statements.
Oh, jeez,
We see in the recent trailers and recognizes being transformed into an Asgardian-type elf. So if that's still Judge Price is beyond me right now, but the defendant is played by Brandon Hirsch. We also get our first look at Holden Holloway, played by Steve Coulter. Titania is seen busting through the courtroom, played by Jamila Jamil. Titania in the comics has hated She-Hulk from basically the jump because she wins time and time again one-on-one with She-Hulk. But I suspect with the other trailer footage where we see Titania everywhere, she was hired to break through the courtroom so they could see Jennifer Walters change to She-Hulk.
That's what I'm saying in the beginning of the video.
Who's a shady fucking man. Should I try saying shady man? Keep the F out? You can blur it. We'll bleep it. Jen punches Titania, flips her heels back on, ready to give her closing statement to a damn classic by Eve. Who's That Girl? It's such a bop. Basically, the song
it was definitely a bop. And I started dancing a little bit in there.
In the credits, we see a courtroom-like illustration montage, one of which is a board-like presentation by Jen to Hulk at Bruce's Bar, piecing together whether or not Captain America is a virgin. Links to Peggy Carter, a faceless woman, and then what we can expect as a USO showgirl. And so let's get into this. Jen, fake drunk, gets Smart Hulk to spill some beans on Steve Rogers being a virgin. They even called back to the gorgeous Steve Rogers' butt.
Did you see that ass? Like, that ass did not deserve to die a virgin.
It's revealed he does indeed get down. He lost his virginity to a girl in 1943 on the USO tour. Now, Jen's presentation may lead you to believe it was a USO dance girl, but I think that she thinks that the unnamed 1940s girl was either a dancer or a random woman. I think it's Laura Haddock, aka the autograph seeker in Captain America's first movie.
Could be, because she was fine.
Mom. Laura Haddock.
No.
Meredith Quill as well. The two roles are not related at all, I don't think. Meredith Quill was born in 1961. This girl was an adult by
I was like, what?
40s. But come on, the scene's too on the nose. They definitely hooked up. I mean, I would. That's everything I spotted.
That's what I'm saying.
First
She's
episode of
fine.
She-Hulk. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Lulu.
Lulu Clemons.
Subscribe to New Rockstars for more breakdowns of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye, dudes.
But yeah, guys, I really don't got much else to say, man. She really took care of a lot of the information right there. She gave me so much knowledge on all the minute details of the episodes, and she like broke down a lot of things that like I seen, but I like for some reason it didn't register to me. Like I seen the helmet in the back, but I didn't even realize like where it was from exactly. Here, please remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified when we upload a new video, go ahead and click that little bell icon. The link to... But yeah, we out. Till next time, America.